Cheating doesn't suddenly appear in the bedroom. It begins long before anyone notices. For most men, the signs are subtle, easy to overlook, and often disguised as harmless moments. One day, everything feels normal at home, and the next, you realize she's emotionally drifting away without any obvious warning. The most painful part? You might be sitting at the same dinner table while her attention and desire have already started finding fulfillment elsewhere. Research from the American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy shows that nearly 35% of women report experiencing an emotional affair, a connection that begins emotionally long before any physical interaction occurs. This kind of emotional connection is powerful because it fills the gaps left by emotional neglect, routine, or lack of attention in the relationship. By the time it turns physical, if it ever does, the real damage has already been done. Attraction and routine can blind men to subtle warning signs. You might think everything is fine because bills are paid, routines are followed, and appearances are maintained. But emotional drift doesn't shout, it whispers. Small changes in behavior, fleeting moments of excitement elsewhere, or attention sought in unexpected places can slowly erode trust and intimacy. In this guide, we'll explore 7 hidden places where infidelity often begins, places so ordinary and familiar that most men miss them entirely. From the gym to your own living room, these are the doorways into emotional disconnection. By recognizing them early, you can reclaim presence, strengthen connection, and protect the relationship before it's too late. The gym might seem like just a place for exercise, sweat, and health, but for some women, it's much more than that. When emotional needs aren't fully met at home, the gym can become a subtle stage for validation. Every glance, casual compliment, or encouraging word from trainers or fellow gym goers can spark feelings of being seen, admired, and desired. What may seem innocent or routine to you can quietly fill emotional gaps that have grown in your relationship. Take David's story, for example. At 46, he'd been in a committed relationship for nearly 5 years. When his girlfriend joined a gym, he thought it was simply a positive change for her health. Over the following weeks, however, he noticed small shifts. She spent longer at workouts, dressed more intentionally, and seemed increasingly engaged with her trainer. One day, he glimpsed a message. "Love the way you push through those last reps. Your body's changing fast." The compliment wasn't from him. It was from someone new who noticed her in ways he no longer did. The lesson here is clear. Emotional validation matters more than we often realize. Women don't seek attention at the gym because they're unfaithful by nature. They're responding to a void they feel at home. Ignoring these subtle cues allows someone else to step into that role, even without physical infidelity. The solution isn't control, accusations, or jealousy. It's presence, attention, and awareness. Notice her efforts, celebrate her achievements, and reconnect emotionally. Be the man who makes her feel alive, admired, and valued, not just for her looks, but for her energy and individuality. The gym may be silent, but the emotional cracks forming there can speak volumes if left unnoticed. Most men assume that infidelity starts with physical attraction or secret encounters, but in reality, it often begins with conversation. The office, normally seen as a place of routine, deadlines, and paperwork, can quietly become an emotionally charged environment for women who feel unseen at home. Small gestures, thoughtful questions, or genuine attention from a coworker can slowly fill a void that has been left unattended in a relationship. Consider Mark and his wife, Linda. Married for nearly 3 decades, their daily life was steady but predictable: work, bills, errands, and little meaningful conversation. When Linda began talking more about her coworker Jason, Mark initially dismissed it as harmless, but over time, he realized that Jason knew details about her life that Mark hadn't heard in years: her favorite music, her dreams, and even worries about turning 50. Jason was not replacing him physically, but emotionally. He listened, engaged, and made her feel seen in ways that had quietly faded in her marriage. The key takeaway: emotional connections often hold more power than financial stability or routine gestures. Women seek to feel heard, understood, and valued. If another man provides what you've stopped giving, emotional presence, attention, and genuine curiosity, he can quietly become the center of her emotional world. The solution isn't suspicion or confrontation, it's active emotional engagement. Listen attentively, ask meaningful questions, and show genuine curiosity about her thoughts and feelings. By reconnecting emotionally, you protect the bond that matters most before someone else fills the space you've left vacant. Coffee shops might seem harmless, a place for a latte, a book, or a quiet moment, but for some women, they can become subtle stages for validation. When she feels overlooked or unappreciated at home, stepping into a public space allows her to feel noticed, admired, and alive again. Small gestures, dressing a little nicer, wearing makeup, choosing a seat with good lighting, aren't just about appearances. They are tests of visibility, a way to see if she can still attract attention outside the relationship. Imagine she sits with a cappuccino, glancing around, posting a casual selfie, or catching someone's eye. You might think it's routine or trivial, but these moments signal an unmet need for recognition. She isn't necessarily seeking an affair, she's seeking acknowledgement, a reminder that she still matters and is attractive. When these cues go unnoticed by her partner, the emotional gap grows, leaving room for someone else to fill it. The solution isn't control, suspicion, or confrontation. Instead, reclaim presence and attention. Notice her efforts, compliment her thoughtfully, and engage with curiosity rather than judgment. Ask about her day, acknowledge the changes, and show appreciation for her energy and individuality. When she feels seen and valued by you, the need to seek attention elsewhere diminishes naturally. The logic is simple. Women who feel invisible may seek validation outside the home. A man who consistently notices, appreciates, and connects becomes the source of the light she craves, making any public tests feel unnecessary and less compelling. In today's digital world, social media is one of the most underestimated spaces for emotional drift. While the coffee shop tests visibility in public, social media allows private validation without leaving the house. A woman can be lying next to you in bed while her attention is drawn elsewhere, one message or notification at a time. It doesn't require physical interaction, but it can slowly erode emotional intimacy and loyalty. Consider Tom, 41, in a seemingly stable relationship. He and his girlfriend spent time together, laughed, and planned trips, yet he noticed her smiling at her phone late at night in a way he hadn't seen for months. Later, he discovered she had been reconnecting with her ex through messages. No physical affair, no secret meetings, just the emotional energy she was no longer investing in him. And that energy matters. Every laugh, every shared joke, every message is a piece of attention being diverted. Emotional connections built online can be just as powerful, if not stronger, than those offline. Here's the critical insight. This isn't about spying or mistrust. Grabbing phones or policing messages often backfires. The real solution is building a stronger offline presence. Invest in shared experiences, attentive listening, and emotional engagement that makes her feel valued, desired, and understood. When your connection becomes the source of excitement and validation, online distractions lose their power. Women seek attention where they feel unseen. If her screen gives her more joy than your presence, it's a sign that emotional needs have been neglected. By recognizing this early, you can reclaim the bond, redirect energy, and ensure your relationship remains rooted in trust, connection, and shared attention before virtual interactions take precedence. Social gatherings, weddings, office parties, community events, or charity dinners might seem harmless, even fun. But for women who feel overlooked at home, these events can become subtle stages for validation and rediscovery of personal power. The combination of atmosphere, attention, and anonymity creates a perfect environment for emotional drift. In these settings, compliments and casual attention from others can feel invigorating. A remark about how stunning she looks, a shared laugh over a dance, or a moment of genuine interest can spark excitement she no longer experiences at home. Even if you're present, holding her drink, or watching from the sidelines, she may still mentally compare the attention she receives from someone else to what she feels from you. This is not about physical desire. It's about feeling noticed, admired, and appreciated. The solution is not jealousy, control, or trying to compete. It's about presence, confidence, and leadership. A man who radiates calm authority, engages naturally with the environment, and shows genuine connection without seeking validation becomes magnetic. She notices energy, attention, and strength, qualities she craves in her partner. Remember, infidelity doesn't always start behind closed doors. Sometimes it begins right under the glow of chandeliers, in the subtle mental games of attention and admiration. By maintaining composure and emotional connection, you prevent these moments from creating distance, ensuring that your relationship remains the primary source of validation, excitement, and emotional fulfillment. While social gatherings reveal sparks of attention in public, some of the most dangerous emotional triggers happen in private, when she is alone with someone outside the relationship. These alone moments often appear accidental, lingering after a meeting, asking for help, or finding a reason to be together in an empty room, but they are often subtle tests of boundaries and emotional control. Take Paul's experience. At 55, he'd been married for 25 years and joined a local community board. A fellow member, also married, began finding reasons for private interaction. "Could you help me carry these files?" Or "Stay a few minutes after everyone leaves?" At first, Paul didn't think much of it, but over time, the tension, the soft tone of her voice, and the electricity in the silence made him realize that these moments were emotionally charged. He wasn't her prize. He was a mirror, reflecting the feeling of being desired, alive, and noticed again. The key insight: these moments aren't about others. They're about the emotional energy they provide. A man who cannot hold his composure risks giving away emotional power and respect. Succumbing to every subtle test can quickly lead to regret and damage that is difficult to repair. The solution is self-mastery and boundaries. Recognize when someone is testing your presence or emotional availability. Stay composed, assert your boundaries, and engage selectively. A high-value man does not react impulsively. He chooses where to invest his energy. By controlling the tension, maintaining confidence, and preserving self-respect, you protect both yourself and your relationship from subtle emotional drift. The most overlooked and perhaps the cruelest place where infidelity begins is your own home. Many men assume that loyalty is guaranteed under the same roof. Bills are paid, routines are followed, and appearances are maintained. But emotional drift doesn't require secret meetings or late-night messages. It grows silently where presence has faded. When a woman no longer feels seen, heard, or desired at home, she may begin seeking attention and validation elsewhere. The house that once felt warm and alive can become a place of routine and silence. Small gestures disappear, meaningful conversations vanish, and emotional connection dwindles. The danger is that opportunities for emotional connection exist everywhere, from the gym and office to coffee shops, social media, and social gatherings. If her emotional needs are ignored under your own roof, the rest is just logistics. The solution is not flowers, apologies, or empty gestures. It's reclaiming presence, energy, and emotional leadership. Show up fully as a man who notices, engages, and initiates. Be present not just physically, but emotionally. Lead conversations, show appreciation, and create moments that remind her why she chose you. Presence, attention, and authenticity build loyalty far more than contracts, rings, or financial stability. The takeaway is simple but powerful. Infidelity is rarely caused by another person. It's the symptom of emotional neglect. Protect your relationship by being actively present, aware, and engaged in your home life. When a man reclaims his energy and emotional authority, he not only strengthens his bond with his partner, but also makes the home a space where loyalty, connection, and intimacy naturally thrive.